So, hello everyone, my name is Pedro and I am an orthopedic resident in Portugal, and it is really a pleasure for me to be a part of this huge congress. So here we want to share our experience in distal femur fractures in elderly population. So distal femur fractures are relatively rare comparing to proximal femur, but the mortality is also brutal. Here we wanted to study our population, its own mortality, and factors that can contribute to that. So we made a retrospective observational study and included patients with more than 65 years old between August 2014 and August 2021. Our exclusion criteria were pathological fracture and transfer to other institutions. From medical appointments, we evaluated, of course, demographics, type of fracture, type of treatment, and comorbidities. So 77 patients were included, 91% female with mean age of 81 years old. They had a mean Charlson comorbidity index of 5, an index that is good to predict the risk of death within 1 year, taking into account the comorbidities. And we also classified patients with ASA score, always helpful predicting perioperative complications. The majority of patients were ASA 3. We treated in a conservative way 15 patients with leg cast, and the majority of them were treated surgically, where 52% with an endomedullary nail and 47% with a plate and screws. The mortality was 14.7% within 1 year and a total of 30.7%, which is pretty in line with the literature. Time until surgery was 51 hours, as much as described in other studies, because it is not a surgery to go without prepared. So we found statistically significant an association between age and 1 year mortality and also with Charlson index. Yet we found no association with ASA classification, the type of fracture, the type of treatment, the surgical technique, and the time until surgery. So, as in our study, the literature find no association between mortality and the type of fracture, and there is no consensus in the literature if the time to surgery has or not an important role, as in our case, we found no association. The majority of studies found it significant, an association between mortality and age, Charlson index, and ASA score. In our study, we didn't find it for ASA score, but we have the limitation of the number of patients. So in conclusion, distal femur fractures have an important mortality. At this point, we cannot say one surgical technique is better than the other, and that's why we need more and better studies to create an algorithm for the treatment of these patients. Thank you very much for your attention. As I said before, it is a really pleasure to be with you.